Hello comic fans, here's Earl Grey with my lists of my favorite comics in the last year, 2024. A bit against the habit of my recent videos in the last couple of years, I downsized it a bit to just 2 videos. This first video will be all about comics that came out that were published in new collection in the last year, 2024. But the comics for themselves are older, some much older, as you will see. In the next video, in the second video, I will go to the top 10 of the new comics. Maybe the thing that will interest you the most. But I have to tell you, there are really some gems under these Lucky Lukes here. Like for instance, but this is just a honorable mention, like Atlas Comics Library number 2, Venus. This is the only one that I got from these new Fantagraphics collections of the Supreme Marvel material. But I was intrigued of this combining of good girl art, combination of good girl art and weird sci-fi and fantasy stuff. And the main reason was that there is this modern version, this adaptation by Rich Tommaso of these Venus character. So I liked his comics a lot and thought, hey, I want to go to the origin, to the heart of it. Next of my honorable mentions is The Simpsons Treehouse of Horror. This is the third and last concluding volume of these amazingly produced books here. Gimmicky as hell, pun intended. And speaking of gimmicks, I mean, I'm so happy that they put out the Absolute Edition of Death of the Family with the foil cover, and I deliberately put this foil thing here the wrong way round above on the book here, on the slipcase, but I will change this. I just wanted to see how it looks the wrong way round, but I guess the correct version is a bit better. Next in my honorable mentions, you see I cheated here a bit, tell you about how few lists I'm doing and then cram all the other stuff here into this video. But anyway, The Complete Dick Tracy, this is actually by no means a really new book. First, the material, the old Dick Tracy strips within are very old, from the 1940s in this case here. But this was reformatted. So Clover Press reprinted the first 4 issues, I believe, the first 5 volumes of Dick Tracy, so that they have now the same bigger size like the other ones from IDW. Last but not least, Walter Neugebauer's Old Shorehand. This is an adaptation of Karl May's Wild Western Tale. It's the third one of 3 books. The previous ones were Winnetou 1 and 2, all Wild Western tales that every German kid way back then knew by heart. Now he's not so popular anymore, but I really like his stories, and I really like the simple but very precise and powerful art by Walter Neugebauer. So it's really something for me, probably not something for American or English-speaking comic fans, I have to admit. Now to my top 10 proper, with Victor Zeckwell by these guys, and a lady is involved as well, Gabrielle Boril, Francis Carin, and François Rivière. Oh, come on. Yeah. And it's James Bond in Brussels and in the First World War. Very classically drawn. I mean, this is a really idiosyncratic use of ligne claire. Well, here starts the story. Change of perspectives and so on. Very, very clear. Very classic, yet not your typical ligne claire comic. And this is a collected edition of the first 3 albums, and more will come out. I will pick it up for sure. Then Jordi Bernet is, this is 2 times Jordi Bernet. Rank 9, Torpedo and Kraken. Kraken, as the title suggests, deals with, not with this kind of stuff, but with tentacles in the sewers and monsters in the sewers beneath a huge city. And these are some short stories, and they're not that... They have aged much, much, much better than I thought initially. I really expected some stupid pulp fun, which was great for me. But this is actually a social satire, a biting social satire as well. Not only stupid pulp fun, which it is as well. And Torpedo, this guy here, a guy, a criminal, not a nice guy, but you will still root for him because he's just that, fun to watch his moves and how he plays the gangsters and the mobsters, and who aren't really better than him. So it's just very good entertainment. Nothing more, nothing less. So, and now we come to rank 8. Well, the reprints of the Fabulous Fairy Freak Brothers. And this book here came out recently, High Times and Misdemeanors. This is actually volume 3. So they confused themselves, Fantagraphics, with their very tricky scheme of publishing the stuff here, starting with the newest volume, or the relatively newest material, and going back in time. And anyhow, these books are just gorgeous. I mean, this is just the cream on the cake. However, here this cutout cover, I really like it, like in the Simpsons Treehouse of Horror anthology or collection. On rank 7 we have a slew of Richard Corbin books. They really were pumping them out this year here. Dan 1, 2, 3 and 4. I compared these books in different videos on this channel here and on my German channel, and came to the conclusion that overall these new Dark Horse books are really the best way to go for Richard Corbin. Even though not everything turned out to be better than in older comics, in older publications with these Dan comics, some panels were a bit too dark, some too light and too blurry, and however, you can watch my videos or by whatever guy you can find on the internet. This was some kind of pastime to survive the last year, to compare Dan's new coloring with the old coloring. Well, and this is the German version, a bit bigger than the English ones, but yeah, for reasons I thought I will stick with the English ones for now. On rank 6 we have Terry and the Pirates by Milton Caniff. Like the Dick Tracy collections, the new Tracy collections, it was published by Clover Press, and it's a perfect book. I mean, the color reproductions are super clean, and the black and whites as well. Everything is sharp, scanned from the originals or whatever. I mean, this is really a fantastic series, and I can't wait to see all these books here. This is volume 9, so we're the finish is in sight. When I can't wait until this this spine picture will be completed right there. And now we come to this huge Klopperinghi here. So maybe by the sound of my voice you can already guess that this is the Killing Joke, the Absolute Edition. And by no means, I won't try by no means now to showcase some interior pages of this wonderful thick volume here. I did a video already before, actually two, one on my German channel, one on my English channel, so you can inform yourself on these pages. It's a bit unfair to compare this luxurious, gorgeous tome with all the rest, but I tried to be fair and thought, hey, Killing Joke, well, it's important, but what about this thing here? The Vagabond of the Eternity, by Godard and Ribiera. And this is something that was first published in heavy metal, or at least in the German Schwermetall, maybe in Pilot and in these magazines. Here we have some pages in between to tell us something additional about this fantastic sci-fi science fiction world, which is not your cozy, cutesy, typical story. It's really brutal in places, very original, fantastic stuff all over. This is the second volume. The third volume hasn't arrived here yet, but I'm very curious about this stuff. Then we have rank 3, the bronze medal, and now something that is available in English because it's from the UK. From 2000 AD. Nemesis, the Warlock. Since the Brexit, it is a bit of a problem to get stuff from the island over here, but I mean, this is I pre-ordered this book here, and it's just beautiful. It's not the only book that in this list here from the island, as you will see. Great, huh? So, Nemesis the Warlock, one of the best sci-fi comics ever told, ever drawn, and my favorite series from 2000 AD. Now to something really, really old, but somehow fresh, gripping, and fascinating as well. This is a new collection of the old Modesty Blaze strips drawn by Jim Holdaway. I mean, there were other guys at this strip here, but Jim Holdaway is just a class of his own. So probably I won't continue with the series after the next, or the book after the next Modesty Blaze book, because I mean, honestly, he drew just wonderfully precise, exactly what you want from this kind of Sorry, Mr. Peter O'Donnell, who didn't like the comparison, but somehow it's a female James Bond, but she has much more heart and more personality. This Modesty Blaise. She's really not just a beautiful woman, but yeah, really a fascinating personality, and this comes through these newspaper strips. This book here, or this hardcover collection of 3 books, yeah, this has to be my #1 in terms of collected editions of older comics. I pre-ordered and was very lucky and happy that I got one of the few copies in existence. You can get this still in softcover, but now this is the hardcover, and yeah, I'm really glad that I could get this sublime edition of Slain, the Horned God, by Pat Mills and Simon Bisley. I mean, I hope you know the story here. Did I say Nemesis was the best stuff from 2018? Yeah, maybe I will stick to that opinion, but this is a close second, very close second. All the Slain stories are very exciting and fun, but especially this story here blew me away. And the best thing is you don't have to read all the Slains before to understand the Horned God. It's a very convoluted, in a way, saga, but yeah, you will understand it. It's not rocket science, however. So, thanks for listening and sticking with me, and yeah, for all your patience, because I made myself a bit rare in the last couple of months. Maybe I'll change this next year, but I can't promise you anything. Thanks for listening and watching. Goodbye.